I'm connecting from Germany.
Excellent. What time is it there now?
It's midnight.
Okay. I've talked to you before, haven't I?
No. I sent some couple of messages, I asked questions, but we didn't have any chance to talk directly.
I got it.
Yeah, then I thought maybe tonight I would have a chance to talk.
Okay, you're all set, man. Shoot away.
So basically, I studied like almost the whole course, the freewholesaling.com, and then watched a couple of different videos from different teachers, gurus, and everything. So I decided to start a virtual wholesaling business from Germany, and I made a verbal agreement with some VAs abroad.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a company, train people, cold callers, acquisition managers, and dispo. Because I have a full-time sales job, and the money I make per hour is much more than I would pay for them. So my question is, so I'm US resident, but I live in Germany. I can go to the United States a couple of times a year. So the question is, okay, so I form these companies, I hire these people. Let's say I launch a website. The question is, I pick the market Dallas for and this is what I have a friend there who can help me maybe
perfect
to do some help. So where should I start? Okay, I don't have a chance to go to the courthouse to pull these government lists, but if I'm supposed to use, for example, a tool like a PropStream, where should I start? Because I'm going to pay these guys. Okay, pick up the phone and call. Where should I start? And where do you see the highest chance for a virtual wholesaler, someone, located in a different state, different country?
So, I mean, you got a lot of fires here, so I can only do one at a time. So you're in the right spot. So just so you know, free wholesaling is to teach you to understand the mechanics and how to go out and get a wholesale deal, which I believe you're trying. I understand you're trying to scale it, and you're in another company, and you got a good paying job, and you want to keep it. And by the way, that's how I started out wholesaling. I just didn't do it from Germany. So that I get a little bit of your limitation there with it, because it's going to be hard to pull some of the government list, because you get a lot of resistance just sending emails and phone calls. So someone like you, I would use a PropStream to help facilitate the leads. You need to do at least your 10,000 leads. What leads you want to focus on? I don't hold anything back in freewholesaling.com. I don't have a shield behind the course. I'm going to chase, you can hit your pre-probates, your vacants, and then from there, you can do your retired landlords. And then I would focus on high equity leads. And I would still either yourself or VA try to get the government list that you can via phone. Understanding it's going to be a challenge, but start from there. And then you have to build a plan. And your plan has to be, if we have X amount of leads, how many people can we call? And you can build a business plan from there, because you're a smart guy and you understand sales is you got to keep salespeople busy, and you got to kind of give them the scripts and everything else you need to do. And that's where it's a much longer conversation I probably can't cover in a few minutes on here. But the most important thing is to get them the list. The challenge with hiring VAs is some of them don't do what they say they're going to do, and it's frustrating. And you have to manage these people. And sometimes when you don't have the experience to manage the people, that's where the frustration is. So do you work as an independent salesperson, or you work for, do you have a sales team under you, or how do you manage that part of your life?
I work for a NASDAQ company. It's an American company, but I run the sales operation here in Europe. So it's a kind of busy job. I need to be online all the time.
Yeah.
But then, I was trying to dig out some information about this wholesaling, creative financing. And then, I kind of online met a VA company. And then I talked to them, and I had some kind of friend mentor. She told me that she was using this service. I listened to their calls, and it's not so expensive that I thought, okay, maybe it might be a way to kind of to start this as a side business, and then see how it goes. And when it comes to that level, like 200, 300K a year, then I can just say, okay, I quit my job and purely focus on this.
I got it. So the biggest thing you're gonna have to focus on right off the bat is the best quality leads, because if you don't have good leads, you got the best sales team in the world, as you know, they're not going to convert. So you got to find the highest probability list. I teach you how to do it at freewholesaling.com. And honestly, me and Zach recently launched the Flip with Rick Plus. If you need some more help, because we we go a lot more into how to teach your teams, especially VAs, and I offer all that. Scroll on the bottom if you want to check it out. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. It's not a requirement, but if you want to, like when you start working with teams and everything else, there's a lot of things you got to manage and keep your eyes on the prize to make it work. But what I would solely focus on right now is the best list you can possibly get. And then how many leads do you need to do? How many realistically leads you need to do? So start asking the sales team that you're getting ready to work with, how many leads do you need in a month to keep it busy and what's a realistic number? And just take it from their previous data and see if it adds up. So if they say, oh, I need 50,000 leads, you're gonna have to like, 50,000 is a lot of leads. Like you got to be able to find a deal in 50,000. But the idea is like, what can we do with 10,000? How are you going to connect with these people? And then what's the cost going to be? And then you're going to have to just kind of work it out backwards from there.
Initially, I'm going to hire like 2 cold callers, one acquisition manager and one dispo. And I today talked to my contact person from that agency. I told her, okay, I think first of all I should build a buyers list, and let's start with a dispo. And this dispo is supposed to call maybe the cash buyers that I can download from the prop stream, and maybe just we Google it and then see cash buyers in Dallas, and then call these people, introduce ourselves, see what they want, what they need. Do they want like 3+2 or 4+2, whatever? And then maybe once I have this cash buyers list and I see these people like buying in these zip codes and these type of properties, and then tell the cold callers, okay, now I pull a list and then I'm going to just ask them to call and then see how it goes. And then once I have some leads, then I will ask the acquisition managers to kind of call them. And I can only do just like observe, listen to the calls, and then maybe give a feedback.
So I would, let me ask you, how many hours, how busy are you? Like at your current job, like are you done when you get home? Like you just have no time? Or
once a week I go to the office. The rest of the time I'm home. I mean, I can do other things, but the more I work, the more cash I can generate.
I got it
for my company. It's like
so let me give you a couple suggestions here. Okay, you got to attack marketing, and you got to get motivated sellers, and you got to get them under contract. Honestly, it's going to be the most challenging part of what you do. I wouldn't even bother with the dispositions till you start loading that funnel, because you're going to waste time and money. Because here's the reality is, you already have some sales experience. You can actually have a VA help you just scrape cash buyers list. And then maybe like an hour a week, 1 hour, maybe 2, you can rip through cash buyers. You can build that data yourself, and then you can if you have a good deal, they sell very easily. You're not going to have enough volume for a dispositions person right off the bat. It's usually a 60 to 90 day ramp up. So I'd rather you spend your energy and your focus. I'd rather you have like just complete dedicated cold callers, and with somewhat your sales experience, you got great English skills. So there's no issue there. But dispositions is a very limited time. It's not like a heavy skill set. Like in my opinion, it's kind of the easiest part of the job. You can do what you want, but I'm telling you, I would put everything on the front end on marketing. So if you're going to do 2 cold callers, you could probably spend some more money on getting quality list or having somebody help you getting the list. And then your focus has to be on the marketing team and the people reaching out to all these people. That's where it really has to be. The dispositions, honestly, we always use that as the last one. Now, anybody can build a cash buyers list, but to get people excited about dispositions, you have to have product to sell. And until you have product, you're kind of putting the cart before the horse. But if you want, just check out Flip with Rick Plus if you need some more extended training on it, because it's a much longer conversations. But I would focus everything on marketing and getting deals under contract, because you could turn a dispositions person on like this. It's easy. It's actually really simple. We get dispositions people all the time in markets like we've never even done a deal with. And sometimes we just don't have people, or the staff's busy. And our worst case scenario is me and Zach occasionally start to pick up the phone and just rip through it. It's not that hard. You have to have good deals to sell. So if you have to sell it like a realtor, that's realtor experience. So my suggestion to you, you've got a lot to chew on here, is load the front end, and then you can bring some of it to the back end as you get going in the business. But if you can't get that engine running, you don't have to worry about dispositions. That's like, I'm going to hire an accountant before I've even started. Like I go, let's get some sales, let's get some wholesale deals, because hiring an accountant, if there's no revenue coming in, they're just going to sit there and fumble their thumbs, and they'll be happy to take your paid paycheck. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it makes sense. I'm just afraid of
you're looking at it from a business, but I'm telling you, got to front load the end of like the front end of wholesaling. That's why all our trainings, everything's around marketing, getting lists, and talking to sellers, because that's the hardest part of what we do. And if you do that right, the selling part, it's actually easy. It's going to be the smallest amount of your time. I'm not discounting it, but I'm telling you a little bit of the mountain you got to climb up front. I want to give you as much help and as much push as you can. And then you can turn disposition people on very easily, very, very easily.
The thing is, it will be easy like once I have a property under contract, and then I'm like, oh, what I'm going to do now, and tell the dispo, okay, call these numbers. And this dispo is just like calls host and just offers it.
Yeah, and you can give them a flat rate. You can give a percentage. They're really like dispos. It's simple. And here's how you make dispo even easier. Find really good deals. How do you find deals? You get the right list and you get the right people with the energy to contact these people. If it's not yourself, I understand. Dispo's easy. When you get bad deals, dispo's a nightmare. Why? Because nobody wants to buy it. Like, you can't make people buy property. And we're not realtors to sell stuff for top dollar, because most of the properties you're buying are not top dollar properties. So how do you prevent that? Go off to the right list and get the people that are going to put a lot of energy in getting the best deals possible. The dispo, worst case scenario, you could start off doing it, and then you could easily outsource it very fast and simply. The front part, if you don't build that part, the back end is just a waste of your time. And I'm just telling you, don't put the cart before the horse. Load the front end, sales, marketing, get it going, and then the dispo. I've never had a challenge hiring a dispo. The other side, it's always work, and that's what you're going to find. So that's where I want you to focus.
No, I mean, I have everybody. Like I have but the question is like, should I ask the dispo call these cash buyers? Maybe like, I mean, the dispo can work part time, like 2 or 3 days. Just call these people. Let's have a list of like 50 cash buyers, and then and a full gas marketing.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, just try it. That's all I can tell you is get going. But I'm just telling you, the initial thing is to really entice the cash buyers, you're going to have product for them. And if you don't have product, they'll turn over and you'll be kind of wasting your time. So just make sure you have product, because once you have product, then it's really easy to entice cash buyers. If you have no product, so if somebody calls me and goes, hey, Rick, I got some great wholesale deals. I'm like, all right, what's the address? And I go, well, I'm working on it. I'm like, okay, well, call me when you get something. I'm not going to go through your entire qualifying. Like, why am I going to give you all my information if you have nothing? Because here's what I'm telling you is, I don't know if you can actually do this. So prove to me you can do it, and then we'll have a deeper conversation. Now, when you have a property to dangle in front of me, I will give you everything you want. But I've done this for a while. So it's like, remember, I don't want you to set that person up for failure. And when I say part-time, it's extreme part-time, 1 to 2 days at most. Because most of the time in 2 hours, you can get through any type of list call. That's it. Because a lot of it's just phone tag playing back and forth. So just make sure you understand that.
All right, cool. My final question,
yes.
Do you think it's important to have a website, like a professional website, before really
waste of time? It doesn't, dude, I don't have one and I do wholesaling. How's that? Now, I will tell you, if you want to show credibility, simple Facebook pages, Instagram, social media, and that's easy to have a VA set up for you. The sooner you set up, that's fine. But like, people just don't go hunt websites anymore. They look you up online and go, okay, where can I find them? So some simple parameters in Google, setting up like a business, and just, like some of the keywords, but like the actual website, they're becoming not less relevant. It's just, you could get instant credibility having a Facebook page, and that would serve to go, oh, okay, I see there. And then the idea is when you buy or sell a property, have somebody put a comment on there and just post an occasional article on it. It's going to get more traction than just a website, because it's got no SEO, and unless you tell them the domain, they're never going to go there. So if I want to look you up, I'm going to put you on and I'm going to do a search in social media, and that's the first place I'm going to hunt you down. So I would start with there. And then just not complicate it. All you need is like one simple page saying what you're doing, because every investor goes out and gets these cookie cut websites, and they're all the exact same information. It's like ridiculous. I'm not going to use names and stuff here, but people don't care. They're going to go to Facebook and Instagram much faster than they go hunt for a domain.
Okay. And does it make sense to, for example, if a seller is not interested in a cash offer, and then suddenly like change the strategy and then offer creative financing? Do you recommend this? Because this is something like I kind of feel it might be necessary.
You can, but the right opportunity has to present itself. You can't just say, hey, do you want to do creative financing? Number one, they don't even know what that is. So always wear your wholesaling cap first. And then if the terms dictate, just say, listen, it's a lot of times creative financing, a good creative financing is the only solution, okay? Because you can't make people do a wholesaling deal. It's even more critical in creative financing. You can't make somebody sell you a property. So you do the whole price terms thing. And so you just listen them out, and it's simple say is that, are you open to a creative solution? You want them to have some sort of problem that you can solve. Maybe they owe too much money on the property. Maybe they own it outright and they want to avoid taxes. And that's where you have to ask an open-ended question, because trying to shove creative financing down someone's mouth that wants nothing to do with it ticks them off. And if you don't believe me, try working with realtors. They hate it the most because they don't understand it and they fear what they don't understand. And so it has to present the right opportunity. By saying, hey, do you want to do creative financing? They're like, what is it? Is that like a dance? What is that? They don't understand it. That's terminology you and me use. So if someone owes a ton of money or they're behind on payments and we can't make the wholesale numbers work, I just simply say, hey, are you open to a creative solution? And I shut my mouth. And they're like, well, what do you mean by that? Like, can you explain a little bit more? I go, well, I noticed I have the problem here. I go, I get it. I can't buy it cash because of this, this, and this. But if you're open to being creative, I might be able to solve your problem. Would you like to discuss it? See, you can't move forward until you have permission. And just doing little things like that. If you want to learn like some more advanced topics, I mean, I teach a lot of it in free wholesaling. There's plenty there. If you want to take it a step up, check out the plus, and we'll see if we can do something with you there.
With the plus, like, is it possible to communicate on a daily basis? Like,
no, it's not daily. So just to let you know, the plus is just a way to connect with me and Zach, go a little bit deeper, but we're looking to work long-term relationships. So when you have questions, we can set the time aside to answer them for you. So it's not like a dedicated mentoring coaching thing. It's just like we made it affordable for everyone, the people that want. So sometimes people have to ask a question. And the best way to work with us that is if you JV a deal with us, it's free.